Hi there, everybody, and welcome to Roll with Advantage. So here's the thing. Finding players for your games to play, specifically through Roll20 or just through any looking for a game website, can be incredibly difficult. And the application process can be incredibly extensive and a little exhausting. But here's the thing. If you want your games to last a long time, if you want to play more than 5 or 10 sessions in any given campaign, you really need to go through the process that I'm going to be showing you over the course of the next videos, because I guarantee you it will lead to the best results and the best returns in the longevity of the campaign, even though it might be more work up front. So with that, let's go ahead and roll the intro and we'll dive right in. So here's the thing, right? The last video, how to create a character on D&D Beyond, is doing super well, way better than I thought it would have, and I am super thrilled about that. So thank you all so much for your support on that video. And one of the things that came from that video is I had somebody reach out to me and they said, hey, really liked that video. You did a really great job. Really loved it. It was really informative. There's something I'd love to see you talk about. And it's how to get good players on Roll20. Their comment is still on the previous YouTube video, which I'll link to that corner right there right now, if you haven't had a chance to see that one yet. And the thing that they said is they would love to see how to weed out bad players in the application process on Roll20. And yeah, it is an epidemic for a DM to go through all of those applications and to hopefully find good players who are excited to be there and engage with the content, and they are just ready to go. That's so hard to do. And sometimes by the time that you really start to notice those red flags, it's a little too late already. So in today's video and over the next couple of weeks, we're going to be doing 4 videos on this topic. The first video is the one you're watching right now. It is how to create an appealing and welcoming looking for players post on Roll20, right? How do you make a post, right? I'm looking for players post on Roll20 that looks nice and encourages people to apply. 2 of the ones that I've done this with, where I've taken an extra amount of time to create more information, more details, given people application questions, right? On one of those, I had 30 applications and 400 views. And then on another one, I had, geez, what would that be? Almost 70 applications over the course of a couple of years and almost 1,000 views. So it is possible, right? Because when you have 30 to 50 people to pick from, it's a whole heck of a lot easier to find 5 good players than it is if you only have 5 people apply. So that's the first video. The second video is going to be going through applications that my own players submit, because I thought about using old applications, but I don't want to talk bad about anybody. You know, I don't think anybody was intentionally applying with the idea that their application could end up in a video. So I will not be doing that. But instead, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be having my players apply, have them make up application posts as if they were actually applying to the game, or maybe just trying to weave in some subtle red flags. And that'll be the end of the second video. The third video will be the interview process. So it'll be me hosting mock interviews with these players, and then eventually see who is accepted into the game based off those interviews. So that's that. The final video is specifically for players. It's how to have a good application and how to have a good interview. Some of that's going to be covered in the previous video, but those are the broad strokes of everything. Those are the 4 videos. So we're going to go ahead and dive into the first one right now. Okay, so you have done the work, right? You are the DM. You're him, right? You're that guy. Okay, you are that person. You have everything ready to go. the assets are prepared, you have some NPCs in mind, you've made a town, you have a story, you're like, okay, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to find some players. You start walking around town, you know, because that's what people do when they're looking for players. You ask mom, you ask dad, you ask your Xbox Live friends, you know, you ask your Epic Game Store friends. You're like, hey, anybody want to play D&D with me? And you kind of get the same answer over and over again. Well, no, I don't think so. No, D&D is a little too nerdy for me. No, I don't know. I just, I played it in the 80s, but I don't know. There's this whole Satan thing going on, so we're not going to do that, right? You get all those answers. So you don't have anybody in your real life that you can play with. And that's okay. Because luckily, there are tons of resources out there for you to find players to play D&D with or any tabletop RPG online. One of those best resources, at least in my opinion, is Roll20. Because Roll20 is not only an LFG website, right, looking for a game website, it is also a virtual tabletop, so you can look for players and then host those players on that website for your games. And they're also a digital marketplace for tabletop RPG materials and supplies, right? So you can purchase official D&D 5e content, official Pathfinder content. You can purchase it on Roll20, and then you will have access to it on Roll20. So you can easily click and drag monsters into your world on Roll20. You don't have to manually input every single little detail for any monster you want to use. Roll20 is a great resource, especially if you're just getting started into the online tabletop RPG world. So you're here, you've got all the resources, you know you need to find people online. Let's create a game. Let's create a looking for a game post, and let's try and make it look a little sexy, you know? Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and dive right in. Here we are. Easy. This is when you go to Roll20 after you create an account, you log in. This is what it's going to look like. You will not have games, right? Be nothing here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go to games, hover over, and we're gonna create a new game, which will bring us to this this page right here. So game name, we will call this the Legends of Telemachus. Sure, spelled that wrong. That's okay. All right, the Legends of Telemachus, right? It's going to be a D&D 5e campaign. Legends of Telemachus. Let's say that in my world in particular, it takes place in Thrall, and it is about a Thrallian warlord thousands of years ago. He ended up hunting down all of these magical creatures, and he turned them into weapons. And so Telemachus's armory is somewhere around Thrall, and there are now new individuals that are searching for that armory for these weapons of mass destruction to bend the people to their will. I like that campaign a lot. I might run that in the future, honestly. Okay, so we have the Legends of Telemachus, right? Telemachus has a whole bunch of legends. He killed a lot of monsters. We're good to go. Okay, all right, I have my idea. Hopefully you have yours at this point. All right, so then we can drop down to the menu here. You can see they have so many character sheets available for so many games. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what 97% of these are. But they have so much, and it's so wonderful. But for our purposes today, I'm a D&D 5e. That's my home. That's my clan. Those are my people. So we're gonna go ahead and stick there. So after we come up with the name, after we pick the character sheet, we just create the game. Easy peasy, right? Legend of Telemachus, right? Oh, looking for players. Create listing. We're not there yet. Okay, we got to be careful. We can't get too anxious, too ornery. We gotta iron everything out first. Okay, so. Right now we have a pretty barren page, okay? We don't have any players. We don't have any token marker sets. We don't have any of this, anything at all, okay? First thing we want to do is we want to add a little bit of spice to this, okay? We want to add some flavor to what we've got going on here. So you can create a cover photo. You can choose when the next game will be, right? You can do a lot of different stuff here. First thing we want to do is, although we pick the character sheet D&D 5e, if we want players when they're looking for our page to, if they search under D&D 5e, because that's what we're running, we need to, in this section right here where it says playing, we need to look up dungeons. Okay, it's probably D&D then. D&D 5e, right? That's what we're working with. So yeah, So the big thing you want to do is you want to make sure you save your changes whenever you do anything. It's always better to save early and often than to not save at all for about 10 minutes and lose all your progress. So now all you need to do is you need to add a banner and you need to write a description and you need to say when the next game will be. 8 months from now is when this first game is going to be. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to spice this up a bit. I'm going to make it look a little nice. I'm going to continue to record, but I'm going to speed it up. So that way you can see, and I can tell you generally about how long it takes to do something like this. We can look at my finished product, and then we'll be good to go. Okay, so I'm gonna pop back just for a brief second while I'm cleaning all this up. I had to make a new account because I hadn't used Roll20 in so long. My membership had expired and all of the assets that I still had on there were still there. So yeah, what I'm gonna do is I made a new account. I'm going to remake the looking for a game post. This is one thing that I thought of that I wanted to say. Make sure you have a profile picture and make sure that it's, something that is, it doesn't have to be like a headshot, it doesn't have to be you posing like, but it should be something that lets people know, like, okay, this is probably going to be a cool person to talk to, try to avoid something. Cringe is a word that I think would be good for GMs because you don't want it to be anything off-putting, something vaguely generic. But not something cringy. And, I don't want to say anything specifically. A safe bet would be maybe you have an AI art avatar of your own face. That might be fine. Your own face is probably okay as well. If not, maybe an inoffensive video game character, just something that is not too over the top. Right. I don't think that it would necessarily be a good idea for you to include, say, like an anime waifu, as your profile picture. I don't think that will get the attention you want. So pick a profile picture, use whatever you want, but make sure that it's something welcoming, inviting, and, it could be a little silly. Just try to stay away from things that might be a little, yeah. Anyway. Okay. I'll see you on the other end. Okay, so I think that I have everything figured out and straightened out around here. I'm pretty happy with the results so far. Took a little bit of time, but hey, right? Like I said, you're putting the initial investment now, so you can have a good long campaign later on. So I added a little banner here, right? I'm not doing anything specifically related to the game, just the assets that I have for Roll with Advantage. So we got all the RWA characters, right? This looks so nice. Legends of Telemachus. Right, we use our headers, we use bold text, we use italicized, we have some hyperlinked articles here. So this will go to the incarnate page that has the starting town. We can go back, world flavor under here. We have a reference image of Port Lemnos, right? So this is all real stuff for a campaign that I would love to run in the future, actually. And then we have our applications, questions, and process. So the worst thing you can do as a DM when putting feelers out there is not let players know how the process is going to shake down. You want to let your players know, your potential players know, what the process is going to be like for them. So you are going to have it right there. Okay. And I will copy and paste. I'll put all of this in a Google Drive document and post that in the description down below so you can copy and paste this if you so choose. What we're searching for in these questions is we're trying to ask as much as we can to get a vibe check on how these people play D&D that are applying, right? If somebody says, to answer question number 10, what is a potential job that you could do out of character to help with the game? If they answer that by saying, I don't know, that's not a bad thing, right? They just, maybe this is their first game. They don't really know. They're new to it. Like, put me in, coach. I don't care. But if you get somebody who's like, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to be helpful at all. I just want to play D&D. that could be a red flag, right? But it might not be, right? Just because somebody says that doesn't mean they're going to be a bad player, right? It might just be they've been burned in the past. They have a really bad experience with D&D where they wrote the summary every single session for 6 months for the campaign just to end after 5 or 6 sessions, you know? I would understand why they wouldn't want to do anything, okay? So that might on itself be a red flag, but it might not be. That's why we ask 10 questions, because we know based off of how they're going to answer these, whether or not they're going to be somebody we want to talk to. So these are the questions. The looking for players page is ready. So let's go ahead and create a listing. Okay. So here we go. Go to conduct, intended use, yada, 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 hate and offense. Yep. We're not that. And then here we go. This is where we can do the final touches. Frequency. We are going to do weekly, audio and video. I want video and voice, right? I think that just voice is fine. I'm totally cool with that, but I'm not going to lie. In my campaigns that I run now, I love seeing my players' faces. I love seeing them laugh and smile and shed tears, reacting to the things that are happening. Primary language, English. New players are welcome. Mature content, 18 plus. Not pay to play, not a pickup game, okay? There we have everything. And, ooh, that is my bad. I need to post a new topic, and I need to do application questions. I did that in the wrong spot earlier. Hey, nobody's perfect, you know? We're all working. We're all doing our best, all right? Nothing wrong with that. So we will go ahead and copy and paste this right here. Application questions posted here. Actually, we'll say applications posted here. There we go. I am not a robot. Thank you. Post. Boom. People will respond there. We have our looking for a game page, and that's it. This is what you need to do right here. And if you do this, I can guarantee you it might take a minute, right? You might have this posted for 2 weeks, 2, maybe 3 weeks, but you'll get people that apply just because you put in the effort and you showed that you're a DM, you're a GM that's going to put in the effort, right? I made a map. I have a piece of art. I wrote lore, not a lot, right? No player. Well, I'm not going to say that, no player. I have players who, if I were to send them a 15-page lore document, they would read it and they would love it. But a lot of players, and I myself am a player in this way, if I were to receive a 15-page lore document before I even apply, no way. No way, Jose. I am not applying for your game. I'm sorry, right? Shakespeare put it best. Brevity is the soul of wit, right?
Why waste time? Say lot word when few word do track.
Then you should do it. People's time is valuable and you should respect that. The less it takes for somebody to get through this, which this maybe even is a little much, but it's enough that players that want to see effort initially, they get effort initially. Players that don't want to read a lot, they don't really have to read a lot. So that's that. That's the video. That's the first one. Hopefully this is clocking a decent time. I guess I'll see when I edit it. How we doing, Future Joe?
We're okay.
Okay.
It's not that bad. It's not as bad as I thought it was.
So with that, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked the video, feel free to like the video. Feel free to subscribe if you enjoyed. Like I said, you'll want to subscribe if you're interested in getting better responses on your looking for players posts, or if you are wanting to be able to weed out those red and green flags a little bit better. Hopefully that video will be posted sometime within the next couple of weeks, and so on and so forth after that. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.